From Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, the Houston Astros returning home for about 48 hours. Just enough time to do a little laundry and play two games as they welcome in the Atlanta Braves. The Astros dipping their toe into interleague play for the first time in 2017, looking for win number 22. We welcome you into the booth here at Minute Maid Park alongside Jeff Blum. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Todd Callis with a couple of days off. I'll be filling in for a couple of days. But you guys, every team has a quirky part of the schedule. This is that part of the schedule for the Houston Astros.
And you hate to complain, but this really doesn't make much sense. This Astros team is going to be playing 4 games in 3 different time zones in those 4 days. So enjoy this while you can while we're at home.
Get a chance to see the veteran Bartolo Colon on the mound today for the Atlanta Braves while he goes against Charlie Morton. Take a look at our Kubota pitching performance in Charlie Morton because he has been really good last couple of times out.
He has been really good in both times in that white uniform here in Minute Maid Park, doing a very good job picking apart some teams that have a tendency to strike out a lot. The Atlanta Braves are another team like that. If Charlie Morton goes out there and establishes the fastball early on both sides of the plate at 95+ miles an hour, it's going to do a great job of setting up that breaking ball that has been great for him. 21 of his 39 strikeouts this season have been on that curveball. Look for him to be aggressive with it again tonight.
So it's the Astros and the Atlanta Braves. First pitch still on the way. It's baseball from downtown Houston. It's coming up on Root Sports.
off a big series win against a division opponent, but there's been a good vibe around this team all season long, and it's not coming from just one guy. The energy comes from everyone. They are feeling good about the way that they're playing, and they had a day off yesterday. They probably missed each other and missed being at the ballpark. That's how good things are going, but it was well deserved and much needed. This is a very unique portion of their schedule that we're entering. It's our Toyota time to play as we take a closer look at this schedule. Oh, they just came off that series win, as I mentioned. That was in Anaheim. So we went to the West Coast for 3. They took 2 of 3 there and felt pretty good about that one. But that was West Coast. They come off a late arrival on their day off, had yesterday off. Here we are in Texas for 2. You're looking at the first pitch times for each of these games, all in Central Time. Look, they are all over the map. So we've got 2 in Central Time here, but it's a night game followed by a day game. Those can be tough to come back from too. But then heading to the East Coast after the game on Wednesday to face the New York Yankees. And I can tell you that Sunday night game is going to be tough as they head to Miami after that, as they're supposed to get in early in the morning on Monday. This is part of the 162. It's on the schedule. They got to get through it. They know how to grind through games, but I do want to toss this up to Blummer with just the way that they're playing. And I know that the mentality of playing one game at a time is how they do things, but can this affect the team and how they're playing right now?
Thank you, Julia. It is tough. You pointed out some very good things on that travel schedule. It is interesting because the Astros are playing such good baseball that they're going to be wanted on those national broadcasts. So they do have that Sunday night game before traveling down to Miami. 2 games here where you have just enough time to unpack and repack and get reacquainted with your family members. But it is the nature of the beast, and I think A.J. Hinch has done a very good job of getting a handle on these guys and letting them know that we do take it one game at a time. And I know for a fact that before this game, when they were in their hitters and pitchers meetings, that they didn't want to take these 2 games for granted. They've got to play extremely hard against these Atlanta Braves, knowing that this is a brief 2-game homestand.
Well, the Houston Astros go for their 22nd win of the season. No team in the big leagues has more wins than the Astros. Right there with the New York Yankees and the Washington Nationals. The Astros 22-11. The Atlanta Braves are 11-18. Once upon a time, Charlie Morton was a second-round pick of the Atlanta Braves. And tonight, he will make his 7th start in an Astros uniform, 3-2 with that .397 ERA.
And some of the sabermetric numbers that you're going to see as Charlie Morton makes that 7th start of the season. The FIP number is very good. 3.09 is a good number to be around. But the ball put in play, you see the contact percentage is quite high against Charlie Morton. That does include some foul tips. So anytime a bat is being put to the baseball, they are going to keep track of it, and they touch it at least 76% of the time. But when the ball is put in play, the BABIP, when the ball is put in play, is at 344. The interesting thing about that in the last 2 games for Charlie Morton, 20 punch-outs. You've also got a young team in the Atlanta Braves that swings a lot.
Yeah, last time out, 8 punch-outs of the Texas Rangers, and he struck out 12 Oakland Athletics in the start before that. Ender Inciarte will be leading it off for the Atlanta Braves, followed by the second baseman Brandon Phillips. Freddie Freeman is at first base. Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, and Adonis Garcia, the middle third of the lineup for Atlanta. Tyler Flowers is the catcher. He bats 7th. Dansby Swanson is the shortstop. He bats 8th. And Danny Santana, just acquired by the Atlanta Braves. He will bat 9th and play left field. It is our Twitter Tuesday. We want you to tweet us your questions for 2017 Hall of Fame inductee Jeff Bagwell. Jeff will be joining us coming up in the top of the 3rd inning as we are ready to go here. The Astros and the Atlanta Braves. The Astros first interleague game of the season as they welcome in the Braves. A couple of teams with a long history of one another. There's Jeff with legendary anchorman from KTRK here in Houston, a World Guinness Book of World Record holder, Dave Ward, throughout the first pitch. And you know you got some stroke when you walk out there with a Hall of Famer and Carlos Correa is catching.
Well, I was just going to say, you've got 2 legendary guys on the mound right there, and then Carlos Correa. You know you got mad pull when you got that guy out there catching your first pitch.
We are underway, and Inciarte pops this one up on the infield. Roof open tonight on a 79-degree evening, and Carlos Correa makes it look easy. 1 away. First pitch swinging, and there's 1 out here in the first.
It would be beneficial for Charlie Morton to have these guys swinging early and often. So far, he's been throwing 16.5 pitches per inning.
You need a quick one early on. Helps you later on in the game. See the numbers, 3-2 with that .397 ERA for Charlie Morton. Morton came up with the Atlanta Braves back in 2008. The longtime Cincinnati Red, Brandon Phillips, stepping in. Phillips hitting .319 with a couple of home runs and 10 runs batted in. That's inside a ball. Now the Braves come to town after being swept at home by the St. Louis Cardinals, and they were outscored 21-7 in that series. Oof. And the deal breaker was Sunday. They lost in 14 innings. Hit on the ground. Bregman will throw across, and there's 2 away.
So you're saying that bullpen should be in pretty good shape for the Atlanta Braves, huh?
Well, they had a day off, just like the Astros did yesterday. But they have struggled in their brand new ballpark, SunTrust Ballpark there in Atlanta.
Yeah,
5-8.
Read an article, R.A. Dickey, saying that has definitely proven itself to be a hitter's ballpark early on in the season.
That's been a hitter's ballpark for this guy. In fact, any ballpark he's been in has been a hitter's ballpark for Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, you want to see this. You want to see this guy hitting with nobody on base.
The Astros will shift. Bregman, the only infielder on the left side of the infield. That one, though, pulled into right field. Aoki is on and makes the play, and they're 3 away. 3 up and 3 down, and a quick first inning for Charlie Morton. We're scoreless. For Charlie Morton. Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. George Springer in center field. He'll lead it off, followed by Josh Reddick, who's in right. Jose Altuve, the second baseman, hitting third. Correa, Beltran, and Yuli Gurriel, the middle third. Brian McCann is behind the plate. He bats seventh. Alex Bregman at third base. He's hitting eighth, and Nori Aoki is in left field, and he will bat ninth.
Bartolo Colon can say that guys like George Springer and Carlos Correa are freaks. How about this guy? He's a freak. He's pitched for 9 ball clubs, played 20 years in the big leagues. 43-year-old Bartolo Colon. Talked about contact percentages with Charlie Morton. How about Bartolo Colon? At 87% of the time, guys are making contact with the pitches he comes up there with. Might be because he throws the fastball 86% of the time.
Guys are having a lot of success on first pitch as well against Bartolo Colon. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Colon's 507th career start. George Springer, a .255 hitter with 7 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Currently stands in with that 7-game hitting streak. Fouled off to the right side.
Bartolo will throw the occasional wrinkle out there with the slider. Sometimes a changeup, but not very often. He won a Cy Young in 2005, winning 21 games for the Los Angeles Angels.
Colon has been roughed up this season. That misses. It's 3-1, and now Springer in hitter's count to get this game started.
We've got some league leaders. They're going to be brought to you by Houston Methodist. There it is. Fastball percentage. Bartolo Colon almost at 86%. That is quite a bit. And he doesn't have the flames he used to have as a youngster.
You rarely see a guy 10 years into his career, have to reinvent himself. But that is certainly, he's been that way for 10 more years. Usually when you're reinventing yourself, your career's pretty much at its end. He did it right in the middle.
Well, and how about having a fastball that you're able to throw that often and still have success? It has been limited here in recent starts.
That one right back up the middle and a base hit. Making an 8-game hitting streak for George Springer, and the leadoff man is aboard.
Take a look at the pitch selection and location on our MD Anderson strike zone. Everything's staying away from George Springer. There is sink, so that fastball is going to run back to the outside portion of the plate a little bit, but a good job by George staying on that fastball.
There's Josh Reddick, 280 hitter with 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in. And Springer gets back. What do you expect the game plan to be against a veteran like Bartolo Colon, a guy that's not going to pump it up there like he used to?
A phrase that I hear a lot is no panic. You see the ball well off of Bartolo Colon, you know what he's going to bring at you, so you may want to take until you get a strike off of Bartolo Colon, just so you have a chance to pick up the rhythm of his windup. You get a chance to see the release point out of his hand. You watch the ball travel into the catcher's glove, so you get a real good visual on what you're about to see the rest of the night. And then once you see that good fastball, pick a zone and attack it. If he makes a mistake, middle, let it fly.
A lot of attention to George Springer at first base. Reddick takes strike 1. Astros coming in after winning that series in Anaheim. We're now 8-2 in series this season. The 0-1 from Colon. Fouled off. It's 0-2.
Talked about George Springer catching the attention of Bartolo Colon. Flowers, the catcher for the Atlanta Braves, not a very good catch and throw guy. Neither is Suzuki, the backup catcher. So expect the Astros to take advantage of opportunities when they have them.
That one ripped into right. That'll get down for a hit. Springer goes first to third, and the Astros have runners at the corners with nobody out.
That'll get your woo going.
We'll have more on that woo coming up.
But a fastball missed in location. You see Flowers sitting away. Got that one up and in, and a great job by Markakis. If that gets by him, could be extra bases for everybody. Good look at it on our Mattress Firm Supermo.
Now they're at the corner for Jose Altuve. Had a quick 3-game hitting streak working, a .304 hitter with 5 homers and 14 runs batted in. Astros looking to take an early lead. Take strike 1. That seems to have been the approach so far here in this first inning, albeit very early. Take a look at what Bartolo Colon has to offer early in the count. That's right back up the middle in an RBI single for Jose Altuve, and the Astros lead 1-0.
Altuve loves hitting on the road. His home numbers have not been very good on the season. Came into this homestand, this brief homestand, hitting .236 at home, hitting .419 on the road, but looking to turn it around right here. And this is what we mean by no panic. Altuve doing a good job, knowing that he's going to have a couple of opportunities in a Bartolo Colon fastball. And how about the fact he stayed up the middle of the field?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Great piece of hitting.
So runners at first and second now with nobody on. Springer let it off with a single right up the middle. Reddick ripped a single to right field, and now after Altuve singles, here's Carlos Correa. hitting .263, 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. That is hit deep to center. Inciarte goes back and it's off the batter's eye. A big, big fly for Carlos Correa. The Astros lead 4-0 with nobody out in the first.
Some people think CC stands for Carlos Correa. It's starting to look like Crush City out here. Ball driven, fastball center cut. Carlos Correa knows exactly what to do with it. Go ahead and test that wall in center field for durability.
That was one you didn't have to watch. You could just listen and know that ball was well struck.
Good look at where it hits, about halfway up the wall. Nicely done.
His 4th home run of the season, now 15 runs batted in for Carlos Correa. Carlos Beltran, 243 hitter with a couple of homers and 10 runs batted in, steps in. That's away and it's 2-0. Make it 3-0.
Carlos Correa's home run, 106.5 miles an hour off the bat. Launch angle of 23 degrees. Estimated distance, 438 feet.
And Colon now with 17 pitches, and he has yet to record an out here in the first inning. It's fouled off the left side. So Bartolo Colon, in 15 days, will be as old as Jeff Blum. He is 43 years old. Turned 44 on May 24th. That ball is ripped to right. Way out of here. Carlos Beltran goes up for tank. It's 5-0 Astros.
Tell you what, that's what a lot of Astro fans want to see too, is Carlos Beltran getting in on the action. The friendly confines of Minute Maid Park, much to the liking of these Houston Astros. They are a very good fastball hitting team. Oh, we almost lost Carlos Beltran right there.
Astros go back-to-back for the first time this season.
And when you're pitching primarily with one pitch, you've got to be able to locate a lot better than Bartolo is doing right now.
First time since September 11th of 2016. Yuli Gurriel and Evan Gattis did it against Trevor Cahill. And now here is Yuli Gurriel. No outs, and the Astros lead 5-0. In 1999, Bartolo Colon pitched in the Astrodome. He beat the Astros 7-1 on that day.
And he is the last player to wear that Expos uniform that is still in the big leagues.
Dying breed times 2.
Man.
At least an endangered
Dubious
species
honor.
when it comes to that. Both of those. That's outside a ball. 1-2.
Back to that Beltran home run, 103.2 miles an hour off the bat, 428 feet estimated into that second deck.
And speaking of Beltran, I asked him before the game if he had ever gotten an at-bat at the Astrodome. He said no. They played them in '98, but they played in Kansas City when he came up. The only other player to have played in the Astrodome remaining, I believe, is still Adrian Beltre.
How about
The
that?
only one left. That ball hit to left, hooking, foul ball.
We're digging into the research now if that ball goes out. Yuli's a very good fastball hitter.
missed it by that much.
My goodness. That kid's face says it all. So close.
Get that glove up.
Yeah, use that.
That's
It's not just for show. It's Beltran's 5th home run against Bartolo Colon.
swing and a miss. There's one away.
Another look at that home run, or possible home run. That is literally inches away from that foul pole.
Put your glove up. Let's go down to Julia. Julia?
Hey guys, not to pile on here, but I'm going to. AJ Hinch, on this very date in 2002, homered off Bartolo Colon. He said, obviously, Colon was a little bit of a different pitcher back then, had a lot of power. You had to time him up a little bit better, but how much you want to bet that gets brought up in the dugout tonight?
It is in the book. This is the first time Colon has faced the Astros since 2014. That was September 28th of 2014, and that was when he was a New York Met. His final game of the season. Jose Altuve had a chance to sit and win a batting title or play and do it. He got a couple of hits.
Yeah, he did, and I think that was the right way to go about it, too. Go out there and earn it. I think I've heard that phrase before.
Here's the 0-2. That's outside to Brian McCann. Brian McCann, the former Atlanta Brave. As a matter of fact, when Charlie Morton made his major league debut in 2008, Brian McCann was his battery mate in Anaheim. Bounce on the right side. Brandon Phillips goes over, and there's 2 outs. Celebrating that dugout right now. Guys getting some pitches to hit, not missing them. Here's Alex Bregman, 267 hitter, still yet to homer. That's 7 runs batted in. Fighting a 9-game hitting streak when he's hitting .323 during that 9-game streak. That misses away a ball.
Hey, a slider. It was an odd wrinkle to start it off, but the fastball getting ripped around early on. See if he can play on the youngster's aggressiveness.
It's in there for a strike.
Just some odd stats that you run across when we do our research, so to speak. Alex Bregman's slugging percentage is below his on-base percentage, which is a rarity.
It's almost hard to do.
It is, and it's interesting at the fact that how well he drove the ball in gap to gap last year, driving the ball out of the ballpark, but we have yet to see him do that this season.
Here's the 1-2. That's in there for a call, strike 3, but the Astros do some damage on Bartolo Colon. 5 runs on 5 hits. They left the yard back-to-back with Correa and Beltran. After 1, the Astros lead 5-0.
board with the number 5 coming in the booth later today. The J.J. Watt Foundation is bringing the 2017 J.J. Watt Charity Classic back to Minute Maid Park on Saturday, May 13th. The 5th annual charitable event features a home run derby followed by a softball game between the offensive and defensive players for the Houston Texans. All proceeds from this family-friendly event will benefit the J.J. Watt Foundation. Visit Astros.com/JJ Watt for tickets and more information.
That shot of Heen standing next to Jose Altuve.
Man.
Matt Kemp to lead it off here in the second. It's fouled off the right side. Kemp, one of the veterans on this team. He's the designated hitter tonight. Hitting .329, 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in the middle of a 9-game hitting streak. Breaking ball hit well to left center. Aoki looking up. And that's off the wall. That'll be a double for Matt Kemp. Got a bit of a hanger there. Knew what to do with it.
A little flutter out over the plate. Matt Kemp still has plenty of pop. Yep, again, missed spot. Didn't get a full break on that curveball from Charlie Moore, trying to stay down and away out of the swing path of Matt Kemp. Runs right back into that barrel.
He's lucky he hit that one where he hit it. The Astros are lucky he hit that one where he hit it.
Now you're just trying to leave him right where he's at.
Nick Markakis, .286 hitter. One long ball, 12 runs batted in, facing Charlie Morton here. Well, the Braves opening up their brand new ballpark, SunTrust Ballpark in Atlanta. It's a bit of a rebuilding right now for Brian Snitker's team. Terry Pendleton, pretty solid coaching staff there of former players.
They're probably some good guys to listen to if they offer up advice.
And they've got a mix of veterans with young players. Markakis, one of those veterans. That one fouled off the left side. Look at it.
Yeah, I think we were kind of in agreement about that. Looking at this roster coming into this series for the Atlanta Braves, that mix of young and old, new ballpark. Are they really rebuilding? Are they not? I know they've got Freddie Freeman. Teheran is a guy who's locked up, so they have some pieces in place. Just looking for direction.
There's a 2-1. Misses outside. It's 3-1. We talked about the strikeouts for Charlie Morton, 20 in his last 2 starts. He's won back-to-back starts, went 6 innings, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. That was the 10-1 win over the Texas Rangers, his last start. And that's ball 4. So 2 on and nobody out. Bring up Adonis Garcia. And just when you think, you're a pitcher, you get a big old crooked number put on the board there in the first inning, you come out, first 2 guys reach in the second.
Then you say, I'm going to go out there and be aggressive in the zone. You are. You hang a breaking ball. Next thing you know, you give up a double, and then you try and be too fine. Now you've got 2 runners on after the walk.
Pulled a string there on Adonis Garcia.
Yeah, 2 runners on, nobody out, and you got to face a guy named Adonis. Be
That's
careful.
just not fair. Just not fair. Facing the Atlanta Braves for the 6th time in his career. 2-2 with an ERA just under 4 in his career against Atlanta. Came up with the Braves, went on to the Pirates where he spent the majority of his career. Was coming to the Astros this offseason. Garcia hitting in the 6th hole here with 2 on and nobody out in the second, and the Astros leading 5-0. That missed inside.
Good try, though. Those are good misses. You want to be able to let the hitter know, especially a right-handed hitter, if you've got a good slider, a good breaking ball, that you're willing to come into the kitchen a little bit, stand them up, and open up that outside portion of the plate.
It's a breaking ball hit on the ground. Bregman steps on the bag for one, throws across, a double play. That helps. All of a sudden, just like that, there's 2 outs.
Pitcher's best friend, and when you're a sinker ball pitcher, you usually get him with the sinker, but right here, after that pitch inside, goes with the slider, and Adonis gets around it. Nice backhand on the short hop. Great look at it on our Supermo. Step on the bag and throw. Very nicely done.
Triple play was in order. You had him position right.
That would have been aggressive. It's a bold strategy.
Well, take 2. That's low a ball. Tyler Flowers catching tonight. 362, 9 runs batted in. He's yet to hit a long ball. Hitters have to like it. Pitchers not so much, but the early reviews in Atlanta, the new ballpark, is that the ball really jumps.
Yeah, I've actually yet to catch a game on TV where the Braves are playing.
What do you want to know?
You did your studying, huh?
That's what I did all weekend.
You were saying that it's a wind tunnel out to right, huh?
That's what they were talking about.
I know R.A. Dickey feels the same way.
There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled back. It is a Twitter Tuesday here. We want you to tweet us your questions to Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell. Will be joining us in the 5th inning. Tweet us, make it the 3rd inning. He'll tweet joining us then. Tweet us at Root Sports SW.
It's good. I've gotten a couple questions so far.
You can multitask much better than I can.
I don't have as much responsibility as you.
That's scary.
Yep.
Here's the 1-2. That misses high. 2-2.
Borderline on that fastball up in the zone. You can see Brian McCann wants it there. Charlie Morton hits the spot, doesn't get the call. There's Baggy. One of the all-time great teammates.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss. After an inning and a half, the Astros lead 5-0.
Braves bottom 2. The Coca-Cola Value Nights package is one of the best ballpark bargains available for select Monday through Thursday regular season games. Throughout the season, this offer scores you a ticket, hot dog, soda, popcorn, all for $18. To purchase tickets, visit astros.com/Coke Value or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Kevin?
All right, Julia. Astros leading at 5-0 as Nori Aoki, the 9-hitter, leads off here in the second inning. Be ready to hit. Leadoff batters have hit .438 off of Bartolo Colon. Remember, George Springer sharply singled right up the middle to get this game started. That's inside a ball. 1-1. Astros got 5 in the first on 5 hits. It was a 33-pitch inning for Bartolo Colon. It's 2-1. Three and 1. Nori hitting .278. Got that 1 home run. 5 runs batted in. Respected by the third base coach. Hit on the ground. Freddie Freeman will take it to the bag. He's 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and George Springer.
Let's do it all over again.
George extended his hitting streak in the first inning. Singled sharply up the middle, would come in to score on Jose Altuve's RBI single. It's inside the 5-run first inning. That ties the Astros for the most runs scored in an inning this season. They did it against Texas, where they had back-to-back really good, what was it, 7th inning one night they scored 5 and came back with a 4-run 8th the next night.
As good as the Astros are at playing from behind and coming back and beating teams, nothing makes AJ happier than seeing these guys put up a 5 spot in that first inning. You just hope they don't stop there and just continue to blast.
And answered any questions that AJ may have about this being some type of a trap series with the 3 games in Anaheim. That one back up the middle, but right at Colon. And Bartolo will throw him out. There's 2 away. But there was some bit of concern having to come home. And when fans think about it, you think, well, you're home for, you're home for 3 days. The off day Monday, and then you got 2 games. So in essence, as a player, you're talking about a day and a half for all intents and purposes. So this is like the second stop on a 12-game road trip.
It literally is. You barely have enough time to unpack that suitcase and then repack it.
And tomorrow a day game. As Josh Reddick takes strike 1. Tomorrow a day game, but you're gonna pack your bags, bring them to the ballpark.
Try being a broadcaster. You got to come up with words. You got to go to the dry cleaner. Hopefully they do it same day. My goodness.
Hit on the ground, and Freddie Freeman will take it himself. Jeff Bagwell joins us coming up next. top of the third inning with the Atlanta Braves coming to bat. Dansby Swanson sets to step in. And it is our pleasure to welcome to the booth the tallest member of the 2017 Hall of Fame class, Jeff
How about
Bagwell.
that?
That's
Tell
right.
him about
Don't
it, brother.
forget about that. That's
Tell him
the
about
truth. That is. Taller than all those two midgets.
It is
Doesn't
so
happen
good
very
to see
often.
you, by the way.
Good to see
I haven't
you, my
seen
friend.
you in ages, man. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
How does
my
it
friend.
feel to be known as a Hall of Famer now?
What a play. Just as you sit down, Carlos Correa goes to work and throws out Dansby Swanson, and there's one away.
If we go 1, 2, 3, you're sitting here for another
I know.
hour.
I got it. Well, I had one thing I had to say before I got here. Anyway, I got nervous. I got a call from Gene saying he wanted me on here. I was going to be with you, so I had to immediately go underneath my cover to see if I could find some more product.
Yeah, you got to get that
I
product
know,
in there.
especially
I
since
appreciate
it's
the
so
effort.
hot here. Yeah,
You did good.
Hey, it's tough with the humidity here,
it
man.
is, man. It's not good for your hair, especially when you got bad hair.
You're still holding on pretty good, though.
No, not as good as you, my friend.
Come on. Seriously, though, Hall of Famer.
I don't know. It's surreal. Not really sure what that means, considering I'm worried about 10-year-old baseball games and things like that. You know, nothing really changes, but it's great, and I'm very appreciative, and just kind of really don't understand it. But I guess when I get up there at the end of July, I'll kind of take it all in. There's another one.
Gurriel picks it and goes to the bag, and there's 2 outs. Well, we have a Twitter. You didn't know you were going to hit with this.
No, I didn't know
It's
it was
a
on
Twitter.
Twitter.
It's a Twitter
I don't even know
Tuesday.
how to get on Twitter, so
That's okay.
I'll listen.
That's a good thing.
You don't,
Yes.
you don't have to. You can just answer these really good questions from the fans. What are you most looking forward to on the Hall of Fame weekend?
For it to be over with.
Are you? I mean, are
No,
you
I'm not.
grinding on the
No,
speech? Be
well,
honest
no,
with me.
it's just I've listened to a lot of guys, and they're like, man, it's tough because you got to worry about all the people coming in, your family, and all that. Then you got to worry about your speech. But that being said, I'm looking forward to it. Just just to get that feeling. I don't know what it's going to be like. I really don't. I mean, you can't really prepare for it. But getting there with all those guys, I'm sure I'll be very, very humble or humbled. But more importantly, I'll be grateful that I've been given that opportunity. And to get there is the biggest personal thing you can do in this game. And so it's exciting.
You were there. I was there when Biz went in. I was taken aback by just the Astros' presence there in Cooperstown. I would think that would be, obviously the whole weekend is humbling for everybody just to be in that presence, but the fact that the support was like it was, that's got to be something you
It
gotta be
was.
looking
It
forward
was
to.
so cool, Kevin, to walk down that street and see all that orange down there. It was really neat. And then I went up there with my wife, and I went up there to kind of walk around to see how small that place is, the actual town. You don't really see that because you see so many people there. And to see all that orange, it was great. It was just a wonderful experience to go up there, and exciting to watch Craig get in.
Craig give you any tips on what to do on the weekend?
No. No. He just talked. I just saw him a little while ago. He just asked me about my speech, and obviously he says enjoy it, but it'll be interesting and something I probably can't prepare for by listening or anything like that. I just got to go and do it.
Is that something?
You got to have something to say to me, please.
Yeah.
I got a question about your batting practice. You're in the Hall of Fame for putting up phenomenal numbers, yet when the 2 years I played with you, and the Twitter question popping up, favorite pitcher to face, did you have one?
No.
Yeah.
Anybody I got to hit off of?
There you go.
That's a big list.
Favorite
I don't know about
ballpark?
that.
Favorite ballpark to hit at?
I wish I was healthy playing at this one.
I know, right?
Yeah. I love Dodger Stadium. I just thought it was beautiful.
It was a good hitting background, too,
It was.
man.
I had no problems there. I enjoyed it.
It seemed like Pittsburgh. You
I
ranked
did
in
well
Pittsburgh.
there. I have no idea. Maybe because we had a lot of rest because we always had BP inside because it was raining every time we were there.
But that brings up my question to you. I watched you for forever taking batting practice. First of all, I get traded over, and I'm sitting there watching you take BP, and
Yeah.
it is the single worst BP I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And yet the game
No, but
starts and you start to rake. But how
well-
do you get prepared doing what you do in BP?
I guess I was just trying to get loose or kill time, either one of the two.
I think
but
it was more killing time because you weren't hurting baseballs.
I don't ever remember that they put that on the back of the baseball card.
Thank
but,
goodness, right?
It was. It was embarrassing.
Too
I remember-
bad for me, or else I'd have been sitting next to you somewhere.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Take a look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I hit 2 balls up in the upper deck. I never saw one of them.
Did a
I
good
was too
job of
scared.
fighting that one off.
Fought that one off.
Yeah.
I did. Then I hit one off of Danny Darwin. Same thing, but I was so scared of Danny Darwin. I
Put
just
your
put my
head
head down and
down?
just
Dr.
kept
Death.
running. Yeah.
That is a wise move.
Is there a memorable home run for you? If there is one, I mean, you hit a ton of them.
I don't think so. I don't think of one that I think more than another. I really don't. I wish there was. I wish there was a World Series one or something like that, but nothing that stands out for me.
Were you aware of numbers
Oh, I do have one.
with Yaz, knowing that you were right there?
Towards the end, I did. But no, I didn't really do that. I just, I've looked in the past. I'll let you finish this inning. Tell me something good here. Go ahead.
Stick around.
Sure, I'll do.
All right.
Nice.
5-0 Astros. More with Jeff Bagwell when we come back. Nothing. Continue our conversation with Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell on his Twitter Tuesday. Which teammate, I know the answer to this, was the biggest jokester you ever played with?
What do you think?
First base coach of the Seattle Mariners? Casey Canton.
Oh, you know what? He wasn't so much of a jokester. He taught me probably more about the game at an early age than anybody. He would absolutely berate you in a heartbeat to make you feel way less than you thought about yourself. He was very good at that.
Well, answer the question, and then that's, who is it?
You know, I don't know if we had anybody. Blummy might know.
Not jokesters. We didn't really have the
No, we just had
prankster
people
types.
that just made fun of you nonstop. Like you had no chance once you walked through that door.
Like him?
Well, I learned it from hanging around these
But you got to
guys.
remember, this is the guy, when he walked into the clubhouse, the first time I ever saw him, he knew he was going to work for Root Sports because he had red hair.
Yes. It was a flair for the dramatic.
And by the way, you show me nothing by not growing your hair out like Yuri.
I know. Seriously,
That is awesome.
But it is incredible.
I
Have you
love
seen that stuff up close?
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, I touch it every time I see it. It's
you
unbelievable.
really?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I love it.
Altuve hits this one to right. There's one out here in the third.
You got to remember, we have so much time in the clubhouse to do absolutely nothing. So we have to have something to make
There it
fun
is.
of or look
There
at.
it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, how do you teach that?
You can't.
Even product can't do that.
No. That's an extra tool. He's a six-tool player.
Yeah.
Look at
Look at
that.
this.
Yeah, yeah. That's when.
Yeah, what happened there?
Somebody got in trouble somewhere.
Got in a fight with a lawnmower.
Yeah. The red hair was special though.
That was. I think the day I got traded over here. There we
That
go.
was the blonde look. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Wow.
Somebody didn't burn the videotapes I asked.
Wow. What did you do to make people mad?
I
Nothing.
showed up.
I
No.
told. I don't know if Blummy ever tells this story. We lost one game in the World Series, and the only game I was actually couldn't have been more happy that we lost it to one person. That was Jeff Blum hitting that home run against us.
He loves hearing that story.
That's the truth, though. I did tell him
I
that.
appreciate you saying that. And
It was a big moment. It couldn't be for a better guy. So I'm very happy for him.
thank you. And a lot of what I learned, I don't know if I've ever even told you this, but a lot of what I learned about how to play the game professionally was being in this clubhouse with you, Bish, Billy Wagner, Shane Reynolds, and some of these guys. But I remember vividly that I didn't speak for like the 2 months I was with the Astros after getting traded from Montreal. And there was a home game, and I was showered up, ready to go. And you said, hey, why don't you sit down, hang out a little bit, because it was always this little session between you, Osmus, a couple other guys, as you sit there and watch some of the West Coast games and talking baseball, and that's when I knew I had arrived.
Yeah, well, you were special. You could do so many things for us. You know, play short, play third. Best arm I've ever seen out of a second baseman. Of course, that's being said that I had to play next to Craig for 15 years, so that's not.
I was going to take that as a compliment there for a while.
I know. I said a second, third, and short. You were fine.
People talk about the Astros way, and they learned it from you and Craig. Who'd you learn it from?
Guys like Casey Candell, Ken Caminiti, guys that, you know, when you strapped it on every single night, it was time to play baseball and play it the right way. And, you know, we played hard as an organization. Blummy said when he came over from Montreal, and other guys that came in, Carl Everts to Jeff Kent to every single person that came here, we just played hard. And that's all we cared about. It didn't matter what kind of mood you're in, but at 7:05, it was time to play baseball, and that's what we tried to do. And I think it worked well for us.
Quick Twitter question as Carlos Beltran stands in with 2 outs. Minute Maid Park, the Astrodome. Could you imagine playing your entire career here at Minute Maid?
It would have been fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love playing in the Astrodome. I had no problem playing there. I saw the ball fine. But now they moved this thing in center to 409. It could have changed a lot of different things over there. But I enjoyed my time in the Astrodome. Loved playing there. That's the only thing I knew. But this place is just absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure the guys love playing here every single day. It's a great place to play.
By the way, you homered in 1999 off of Bartolo Colon.
Right center.
At the Dome. I guess you remember it.
Just a little bit.
Hey, congratulations on the Hall of
Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Fame.
having me.
No,
Appreciate
thanks for
it, brother.
everything. Congratulations, Jeff.
Okay. Appreciate it, man.
We'll take a break. Astros lead at 5-0.
And Astros mini plans are on sale. Pick the games and seat locations that work best for you with a 15-game flex plan or 5-game pack. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/mini plans to get yours today. Guys, real quick, when AJ Hinch was telling us the report on the Atlanta Braves, since we don't see them often, he started with Freddie Freeman saying the potent bat. There's not really one good way to pitch him. They're going to try to keep him to certain parts of the ballpark. So just keep an eye on the shifts and how they're defensively lining up when he's at the plate, guys.
He is a guy that has as good an opposite field power as anybody in baseball. He's got 11 home runs. He is Mr. Home Run for the Atlanta Braves right now.
Considering as a team they have 21.
He's got 11.
It's over half the home runs for a ball club.
It
is early.
That's solid. Very, very solid for Freddie Freeman. And on top of that, he's hitting 349. That's in there for a strike. He's put together quite a start to this 2017, and he is the face of this franchise for the Atlanta Braves. 6th in the league in batting average, 349. He's tied for 3rd with those 11 home runs. Foul back. Second in on-base percentage and second in slugging percentage as well.
Speaking of slugging first baseman, can we just stop and realize what a great person Jeff Bagwell is, as well as a great ball player?
One of my all-time favorites.
I mean, having him sitting there, it was great.
Good a teammate as you ever had?
The greatest.
Swing and a miss, and Freddie Freeman strikes out.
Good pitch by Charlie Morton. We're going to look at our pitch usage. It's going to be brought to you by AT&T. Highest whiff percentage on curveballs this season. Cody Allen leading the way. That power breaking ball out of the bullpen, but Charlie Morton sneaking on there at almost 48% of his strikeouts are coming via the breaking ball. It's a good look at it again. Getting Freddie Freeman with a swing and miss. Tough to do for all those numbers we put up there about him.
And Matt Kemp, who extended his hitting streak with a double in the second inning. It's almost where he hit it.
Did you get a chance to ask Jeff Bagwell anything you really wanted to know? You're lucky enough to hang around these guys for years. But is there anything that you ever really wanted to?
You know, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this quick story. In '99,
I like it.
When he was in the All-Star game in Boston, it was a big deal. He was traded over from the Red Sox, and that was the day. One of my, I think, is my greatest baseball memory as the person that was in the building, and to see that was when they brought Ted Williams out. And they had the All-Century team. Well, I spent 3 days before that in Connecticut, in Jeff's hometown, and hung out. Got a chance to spend some time with his mom and in his hometown. And just a great lady, and it was one of the more memorable trips that I had. That was a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool, getting to reach back and see some of the history of Jeff Bagwell. Meanwhile, Charlie Morton getting a call in that inside corner on Matt Kemp. Nicely done.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to a Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Here's Nick Markakis. He walked. Braves had a bit of a threat in the second inning after the Astros had that 5-run first. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Backdoors him, strike one. Morton with his third strikeout of the game of Matt Kemp. A 286 hitter is Markakis. Yanked that one inside. 1-1. Morton got it started with a 4-pitch first inning. The Astros promptly put a 5 spot on the board in the bottom of the first. Now Atlanta bats here in the top of the 4th inning. Skips that one up there. It's 2-1. Well, the Braves playing a lot of road games early on. This is the first 2 of a home and home, not back-to-back, but the Astros will actually be in Atlanta for a 2-game series. That'll be over the 4th of July. So it'll be nice and cool for that one. Ripped on the ground at Gurriel. Goes to a knee. He'll step on first, and that'll retire the side. After 3.5, the Astros lead 5-0.
favorite moment in Minute Maid Park history. Craig Biggio's 3,000th hit. Brian Bogusevic, walk-off grand slam. Mike Fiers no-hitter versus the Dodgers, or against the Braves, Chris Burke with that 2005 18th inning home run.
Gurriel hits this one to right. And there's one away. You know the most underrated home run in the history of this ballpark? Brad Ausmus.
Yeah.
It's Kyle Farnsworth. That's right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That game doesn't go to extra innings. Chris Burke doesn't get that chance.
Yep.
One out here in the fourth. The Astros leading at 5-0 thanks to a 5-run first inning. Here's Brian McCann. Hitting 291. McCann had a really good series out in Anaheim. 4 for 7, 571 in that series.
Or as Woody Williams would say, 4 for 7. He's another good teammate.
He may be watching.
Well, I'm sure I'll get a text here in the next 2 or 3 minutes if he is.
Well, McCann came into this series 8 for his last 20, hitting 400, but lifts this one on the infield. And that ball's going to drop. Garcia and Swanson both came in to play it. And then at the end, both just looked at one another. And Dansby Swanson had that one bounce off his glove.
That was a good old-fashioned me got it, you take it. Again, the roof open here at Minute Maid Park. Sun's starting to go down. Tough to see the baseball in that dusk sky. And at the last second, Dansby Swanson went into panic mode. Turned into a clank.
Goes as an E6. Bartolo Colon saying, man, you guys got to be kidding me.
Goes into damage control.
That's exactly what he did, like a veteran does. He was going to cover second base.
How about the no reaction? The guy's seen a lot of baseball.
His 21st season. So now here's Alex Bregman, who was caught looking in the first inning. And you know it's a good night when your number 8 hitter gets an at-bat in the first inning. The 1-0. It's fouled off the right side. Now Dansby Swanson, who just made that error a moment ago, you're looking at the number 1 and 2 in the 2015 draft. Bregman wearing that number 2. His idol was Derek Jeter, and also the number 2 player taken in the draft.
It's going to be an exciting weekend for him up in New York then.
Yeah, how about that? This one fouled off on the right side, giving chase. And Freddie Freeman makes the catch. I thought of the 3 players converging there that Freeman had the least chance of making that, but he did.
I didn't anticipate him making that play at all. Second baseman usually has a better angle going into that Bermuda Triangle, and Markakis is no slouch out there in right field either. But Freddie Freeman, I think, didn't hear anything, so just said, I'm going to take it. Forget this. Nice play.
Well, there's 2 outs for Aoki. You know what he can do with the bat.
Good job avoiding damage, too.
Aoki grounded out to Freddie Freeman in his first at bat. That was in the second inning. He takes in there for a strike. Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Angels over the weekend. Quick 2-game stop here, and then it is off to New York for a 4-game series with the New York Yankees. A matchup of 2 of the best in the American League. That should be a fun series.
It's going to be a really fun series. Some of that young talent for the New York Yankees. It will be the weekend that they do retire Derek Jeter's number. Get his plaque out there in Monument Park in center field.
That's why you got guys wearing 99. There's no numbers left.
There's nothing left. Isn't it amazing? Well, that's probably the only number that made it. You could actually visually see a number on the back of Aaron Judge. He's so big.
That's a good point. And Aoki flies out to center field, and that'll do it for the Astros in the fourth, leading 5-0. You buy Jack in the Box. Taste the Jumbolicious Jumbo Meal before it's gone. Only at Jack in the Box. And by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Astros leading at 4-0 here in downtown Houston on a beautiful night. Anna Carbonell joins us now. A lot of fun going on at the ballpark right now, and you guys are just adding to it. A lot more reasons other than just a very good baseball team to watch to come out here to Minute Maid Park.
Absolutely. We've got a lot going on. We'll finish up tomorrow with the Braves, and the team goes on the road for a few series, and then they'll come back here May 19th. So we've got a jam-packed homestand to kick off with that May 19th game date. Starting with this beautiful.
I mean, how do you miss this?
My man.
I mean, if this doesn't get you to come out to the ballpark, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
I could
The fact
see
I
you.
could keep my headset on and do this is even more impressive.
Well,
It's part of what
the hair.
we, that's
Yes.
how we vet out our promo items, absolutely. So 10,000 fans will get this on May 19th as our Astros Fedora, bringing
People
that
are
back.
going to lose their minds for those fedoras.
Yes. I can't wait to see them scattered all over the ballpark. That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good look. And Big and Bright Friday night is back. You know, the team's wearing orange. We're tagging onto that and really, you know, kicking it off. So you have the fedora that gets you here early, but then you can also come over to our Budweiser Brew House. We have that pregame happy hour that's going on from 5 to 6:30 that fans can check out. So if you come out early for the Astros Fedora, make sure you swing by the Budweiser Brew House. $6 16-ounce draft beers, Budweiser signature draft beers that fans can check out, and DJ music and cornhole and Jenga and the whole nine.
I'm out there
Yeah.
most nights for the pre and the post game show. I always invite fans to come out there, and they do. I can't say enough about what the Astros have done. There's one thing to expanding and to renovating and doing that, but the way they have used the space out there is just absolutely fantastic.
And it was really done with the intention of kind of creating the experience for the fan, right?
Without question. Without
yeah,
question.
Yeah, and you walk that space and you feel that. And, you know, just on radio earlier, I was looking over at the Torchies deck, and that Torchies deck is always jam-packed. And it's a lot of fun for the fans to come out and check out, and there's a lot of good standing spaces there for fans. So.
Charlie Morton with his fourth strikeout of the game. Hey, and everybody's in a good mood when the club wins, too, and that's what this club is doing right now.
Never hurts, never hurts. So, yeah, Big and Bright Friday nights, that May 19th. Strozone, just like we were talking about, that Torchies deck is May 19th. We have a cool Josh Reddick Woo t-shirt that we're doing for that May 19th
Yes.
game. Yeah, the fans have really adopted
They
that,
have
right?
taken that thing on. Bring
Yeah,
it.
and Reddick too. You know, he tweeted the other day, you know, going back to Wooston, you know, so he's really owned it as well, and we're loving it. So Strozone tickets start as low as $30, and on that May 19th date, you can claim those for $30 if you head to astros.com/Strozone. So
In a really good homestand coming up. You go to New York for 4, then to Miami for 3. But then after that, I mean, you come back, you've got Cleveland in for 3, you've got Detroit in for 4, and the Baltimore Orioles in for 3. Really good homestand coming up.
So not only really great opponents, but also really awesome promotions. So kind of a best of all worlds. So we're excited for that next homestand.
Well, an extended homestand, my goodness.
I know.
Hands are kind of tied with these 2 gamers.
Yeah, I know. But we're really looking forward to it.
And this is the one that everybody is going to absolutely love.
Yes.
The Lance McCullers Gnome.
Yes, glow-in-the-dark gnome. Yeah, so the logo on the front of the chest there glows in the dark once the lights go down. But it's a fun one. You know, we've been doing gnomes for a couple of years now, and wanted to figure out how we can make this one special. Yeah, so Lance McCullers, he plays with so much passion and energy, and wanted to show that with him ripping open his jersey. But then also, you know, do that unique twist with the glow-in-the-dark component to the chest logo. So that's for May 20th. 10,000 fans will get that, and it's also our Bayou Bash on May 20th from 12 to 3 p.m. out in the plaza. So fans can check that out. There is a no special ticket was required for that. Any fan can come if they have a game ticket to that 5:20 game, and come out early. And again, just check out the ballpark. That new center field area will be open, but we'll have live music out in the plaza, cornhole out there. A ton of crawfish. So if you like crawfish, come out and check it out. It's going to be a fun time for folks, and just a lot of different activities that people can check out for that 12 to 3 time frame out in the plaza.
Man knows what he's doing right there. I thought it was a bold move going with the gnome hat for a guy that's got the hair like Lance McCullers.
We debated. He does have some really great hair, so you know we didn't want to hide the hair, but we also wanted to stay a little bit traditional with the gnome. So
Well, that's how you protect the hair helmet at night, is with your gnome hat.
there you go.
So this entire gnome, is it just the logo that glows?
Just the logo on the front of the chest. Yeah.
Right. That ball hit well to center field, but George Springer will run it down. And after 4.5, the Astros lead it 5-0. Brandon, thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me as always.
Yep, good
Get
times.
Get out to the ballpark. Charlie Morton in control right now. Lead at 5-0. Time now for tonight's player spotlight, brought to you by Shiner Light Blonde. And George Springer extending his hitting streak to 8 games with that single in the first inning, and continues to swing a hot bat.
Good man to have at the top of that lineup.
This time Brandon Phillips will throw him out. There's one out. One pitch, one out here in the 5th. Well, you talk about a guy settling in. Bartolo Colon had given up 5 runs before he had retired a single Astro in the first inning. Since then, no hits or walks. He's allowed 1 man to reach. That was Brian McCann, who reached on the E6 back in the 4th inning.
He's going all Joe Musgrove on us. Joe Musgrove had one of those starts in Tampa where he went 4 innings and then just shut it down the rest of the way.
Yeah, gave up 4 in the first.
Yeah. And then just wipe out the rest of the way. Astros came back and won that ball game. But I'm with you. I'd like to see them pile on a little bit, get Bartolo out of there and get into this Atlanta Brave bullpen.
Do you relax as a hitter whenever you get up in a game in which you do have a lead, or is it just every at-bat is different unto itself?
No, there is a certain level of relaxation, but again, I talked about it a lot with Ash over the last couple of years. When you're a player and you go out there and you put up numbers like this and you have the opportunity to go out there and get more numbers, get greedy. And that's something right now I think these guys need to be reminded of. Not that they're not trying, but be a little more selective and get some good pitches to drive like that.
Josh Reddick into the bullpen. 4th home run of the season for Reddick, and the Astros lead it 6-0.
I made Todd do it, made Brownie do it. Are you going to do it?
Woo.
You got to woo. Every time Todd had a home run call for Josh Reddick, wooed him.
It's more of a woo.
Yeah, a little more emphasis right here. And he went woo on this one. Fastball missing its location, getting down and into that happy spot for most left-handed hitters. And Josh Reddick didn't miss it, launching it into that Astros bullpen.
Brownie wooed.
He wooed.
Attaboy. That's in there for a strike to Altuve. Reddick squared that up. You know, he hit the ball hard, too, in the 1st inning on that single. It is the 100th career home run for Josh Reddick. And that ball ripped to left, but foul.
Time now for our forward spray chart. With Jose Altuve against fastballs, that average is quite high. But also quite a few hot zones. My goodness. In the zone, out of the zone, up, down. It's good to see him not chasing those fastballs down out of the zone. Has a good idea.
That's foul. And that's from a pitcher's perspective. And I know guys talked about that when facing Tony Gwynn. What do you do? And a lot of guys thought fastballs right down the middle, right down the middle. You throw it in, he'll yank it into right. And try to throw something on the outside, he'll go 5.5 hole all day long.
All day long, yeah. He could manipulate where he wanted that baseball to go.
So Jose singled in the 1st, flew out to right in the 3rd. Just stayed alive there. Altuve came into the game hitting .304. He drove in his 15th run of the season with that RBI single scoring Springer in the 1st. Altuve, who turned 27 a couple of days ago. Bartolo Colon, who will turn 44 in 15 days. That's fouled off. The 100th career home run for Reddick, 432 feet. Exit velocity, 105.4 miles per hour.
It's pretty good.
Above average. And some.
Indeed.
That was the first hit that Colon had allowed since the 1st inning. Altuve stays alive. Bartolo Colon is pitching with his 9th team. He's been an Indian, a Montreal Expo, as we talked about, and with the White Sox twice, Boston, the Yankees, A's, Angels, Mets, and now the Atlanta Braves. Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece of that one, and it is foul ball. Altuve in defense mode here, but just when you make a mistake, he can hurt you in a count like this.
Yes, he can, but he has been getting a lot of sliders, and the reason you're seeing Bartolo Colon throw the slider is obviously we showed you the hot zones on the fastball. He has a high average against it, but last time we were here, the Texas Rangers did a very good job of throwing sliders off the plate. Now Altuve had a hard time laying off them. It's a good look at a lot of the locations on the fastballs and the sliders away from Jose Altuve.
Here's the 0-2. Takes high, 1-2. Astros have gotten home runs from Carlos Correa, Carlos Beltran, and now Josh Reddick. That's down low. This is what Altuve will do to you as well. You get ahead 0-2, and now all of a sudden you're looking at a 9-pitch at bat minimum.
Well, that's the thing. He can spoil some tough pitches, but at the same time, we talk about making adjustments sometimes from at bat to at bat. Altuve right there made an adjustment in the AB, laying off that slider down and away.
Two balls, two strikes, one out here in the 5th. Back up the middle. Colon will snare that one and throw him out. It's 2 outs. Came up with the Cleveland Indians in 1999. This is 21st season. Pitched against the Astros, I should say, in 1999 at the Astrodome. Now here's Carlos Correa. 3-run home run to dead center field back in the 1st inning. Works ahead 0-1. Ray grounded out in the 3rd. This breaking ball hit high in the air to center field. Ender Inciarte is there to make the play. And that'll retire the side in the 5th. But the Astros get a run on the 100th career home run for Josh Reddick. The Astros extend their lead 6-0.
Fans, the 2017 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to astros.com/vote to choose your ASG worthy stars and send them to the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 11th in Miami. Guys, I don't have to tell you two, but the vibe around this club and this clubhouse has been good, and it really has since day one. But AJ Hinch even said it earlier. They're just happy to come to work. They love the way that they're playing right now and the way they're clicking in. They're not flocking to just one guy. It's everybody bringing good energy to this club so far. And Brian Snicker, I want to add what he said before the game about the biggest challenge when you're facing the Houston Astros. And he said, the entire lineup, they're talented, they're athletic at every position. So it's not just the American League that's been seeing this club and noticing this. It's the entire league that recognizes what's going on with Houston right now.
I don't think there's any question about that. Carlos, that was going to be a tough play on Inciarte anyway.
He was going to have to play it perfectly. Inciarte can run a little bit. Kind of backed up on him a little bit when it hit that dirt.
Ruled a base hit, so Inciarte leads off the 6th with a single. There's Brandon Phillips. Yeah, it's the old, which came first? Do you have good chemistry because you're winning, or are you winning because you have good chemistry? And the answer is probably yes.
Yes.
Everybody's happy. It's easier to come to the ballpark. This is a team, though. It's a good mix when you're talking about the Astros. We've talked about the Braves and the composition of a roster. I love the Astros composition of this roster from that standpoint. You remember when Correa went out for a few games, and you and I talked about it down on the field. You had 3 choices. You lose a very good shortstop in Carlos Correa for a couple of games, and you had 3 choices to put there at shortstop.
No, it's an absolute luxury. When you have 3 athletes that can play shortstop on a ball club, there are a lot of other managers that are going to look across the way and go, man, I wish I had that.
And I think versatility, you've got your cornerstones to every franchise and more than just a couple. But versatility is huge. And we saw it when they made a roster move and brought Tony Kemp up. You remember you looked, there were other guys putting together better numbers. Here's Correa. That one came up running, throws across, and he's safe at first. And Brandon Phillips legs that one out. But they brought Tony Kemp up, and we looked at other guys that may have had better numbers, but Tony Kemp brought a lot of versatility to this roster.
Another tough hop, catches Carlos Correa in the heel of the glove, almost came up with it. That ball's a little bit lower. He may get the out, but just enough to where Yuli had to jump up there. Give some credit to Phillips for hustling through that bag, too.
So at E6, runners at first and second. Braves had runners at first and second in the 2nd inning. There's Freddie Freeman, dangerous hitter at the plate in a 6-0 game. There's a bender in there for a strike.
That's a tough play. And I think what gives it the error is that the fact that throws down a little bit, he may get Phillips at first base, but a tough backhanded play. It's tough to assume an out's going to be made when you got to go to your backhand side while playing in for double play depth.
Now the veterans, as Freddie Freeman, 0 for 2 that line out and the strikeout. Freeman got off to a great start. The 9 home runs came in April. He's got 11 right now. That's what he likes to do, with that one foul into the seats. First Atlanta Brave ever to have 9 homers and 4 stolen bases by the end of April. Now I'm guessing that if you go back to the Milwaukee Braves, Hank Aaron probably had those kind of numbers.
Andres Galarraga didn't have those kind of steal numbers
in his career.
Those are Bagwell-esque. That's what everybody keeps forgetting, is that Jeff Bagwell was a phenomenal base runner.
He and Ken Caminiti, I know it was because we watched them a lot.
Yeah.
2 of the best base runners I ever saw. The way Baggy would take a bag, it wasn't as if, it wasn't slow, but he wasn't the fastest guy on the field.
No, but he was very smart about how he did it. He could pick apart a pitcher's delivery to home plate. He knew which pitches to run on.
Understanding the count when you may see a breaking ball or a pitch to run on.
Go first to third better than anybody.
Two on and no outs. The 2-2 pitch to Freddie Freeman. Charlie Morton works here in the 6th, and he got it.
How about that?
Needed to make a pitch, and he did. It's a 5th strikeout for Charlie Morton.
And that's that curveball again, but he did a good job of setting him up, pounding him inside, then just dangling the carrot out off the edge of the plate. You get Freddie Freeman in a situation where you get him to chase. That's a very good pitch.
You got to be careful here as that man steps in, Matt Kemp. Kemp hit a double that just missed getting out of here in the second inning. Kemp is from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Same high school as A.J. Hinch. And Matt Kemp, the second best high school player ever to play there. A.J. was in 1992. A.J. was the Gatorade National Player of the Year.
He was. I was at the University of California, and Stanford was our rival, and there was a lot of news about that catcher coming in to Stanford. He was a big deal back then.
Goes the opposite way through the shift. And the Braves are on the board. It's 6-1. RBI single by Matt Kemp, his second hit of the night. Not a lot to it. Just taking what the pitcher gives you in this situation. That ball was actually in.
Yeah, we saw with the Oakland Athletics, Chris Davis was a guy that kind of stepped in the bucket. It took those pitches middle in and went the other way with them. But that's pretty extreme right there. In off the plate and still able to shoot it the other way.
So now first and second with one out for Nick Markakis. He walked back in the second inning, grounded out in the fourth. Astros leading 6-1. Scored 5 in the first. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. Braves have left 3. The Astros 6 runs on 6 hits with an error, and they have left 1. One 0 to Markakis. That's in there for a strike. Astros are 12-6 here at Minute Maid Park, and a gorgeous night for baseball here. Roof open. Quick 2-game series. Joe Musgrove will go tomorrow for the Astros. Goes against another veteran. There's a 1-1. Hit it Correa, but that ball was tailing away from him. It'll go into center field for a base hit, an RBI single as Brandon Phillips scores, and it's 6-2.
Braves just pecking away right here, trying to cut this lead in half.
Yeah, death by paper cut. There hadn't been a whole lot to it.
And it's unfortunate that an error has led to that second run in this inning. But another Braves hitter trying to go the other way.
Ball was slicing away from Carlos as well.
Again, a mild shift put in place, trying to defend against some of these Brave hitters. They're finding the holes.
Well, Adonis Garcia grounded into a double play back in the second inning. The Braves had runners at first and second in the second inning. And Garcia hit one to Bregman, who stepped on the bag and threw across for a double play. And that was the end of the threat. 237 hitter. He's got 3 home runs. 0 for 2 tonight. That ball's hit well to left, but it'll hang up. And Aoki brings it in. He got that off the end of the bat. I thought that ball was hit better than it was.
Definitely had good launch angle, but it did come off the end of the bat, not going very far out there in left field. Good job by Charlie Morton to avoid the barrel.
Tyler Flowers, who is 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs. Struck out swinging in the second and looking in the fourth. That misses inside a ball. Astros have won 8 of their 10 series so far this season. And They are 17-2 when scoring at least 4 runs. They got 6 on the board and a 4-run lead tonight. Breaking ball is fouled off. They won 11 of the 20 interleague play games a year ago. They start the season with 21, or they start the night tonight with 21 wins. Here's the pitch to Flowers. That misses outside. Braves have some homegrown products. Flowers is from Roswell, Georgia. Dansby Swanson is from right there in the Atlanta area as well. And Brian McCann, who's walking back behind home plate, he is also a native of the area.
Brian McCann walked out there to tell Charlie Morton, let's get through this inning, get you a quality start.
Braves with 2 in the inning. He yanks that one wide for a ball. 3 balls and a strike.
.77 pitches now for Charlie. He's only gone over the 100 mark once. That was when he went 7 innings against Oakland.
Had a 4-pitch first inning tonight. Never hurts. And he walks the bases loaded. That's his 3rd walk, and here's Dansby Swanson, who hit the ball hard his last time up. Todd Callis with the night off tonight. Kevin Eschenfelder, Jeff Blum, Julian Morales with you. Been hanging with you for the next tonight and tomorrow. And then TK will be back with the club at Yankee Stadium in New York.
Brett Strom, the pitching coach for the Houston Astros, heading out there. I think this is just to give Charlie Morton a breather. He's had an extended inning here. Led off with an infield hit, then the error on Carlos Correa behind that. A couple more base hits after punching out Freddie Freeman. But at the same time, there's a call down to the bullpen, and you see Chris Davinsky getting loose. So an opportunity to give Chris a couple more pitches to try and get loose. But at the same time, I feel that this is just to encourage Charlie Morton to be aggressive against Dansby Swanson. Doesn't have the best numbers on the year, but you're right, he does have a hard hit baseball in this game for a base hit.
Well, Morton, the only time he really labored was in the 2nd inning, and now here in the 6th. Dansby Swanson grounded out in the 3rd, but a hard hit single in the 5th inning. It has not been a good thing for the Atlanta Braves to have the bases loaded. Just 5 for 26. 192 as a team. That's a breaking ball inside a ball. 23-year-old Dansby Swanson, the #1 overall pick in 2015 of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Won that College World Series in 2014 with Vanderbilt. Able to check his swing. It's 2-0.
He was a main piece in that Shelby Miller trade.
Yeah, he was.
Which was incredible. How'd that work out?
Pretty good for the Atlanta Braves.
Absolutely.
A gold glove center fielder. A 23-year-old shortstop. While he's struggling now, they're expecting big things from him. It's pretty solid right there. And Kyle Tucker, who is tearing it up in the minor leagues, that is 3-0. And now McCann will go back out and talk to Charlie Morton. 3 balls, no strikes. We have 2 outs. And the bases loaded for the Atlanta Braves. They've got 2 runs in here in the inning.
It's an aggressive move, getting Devo up in a 4-run lead.
.30. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. Now Swanson comes in here just hitting 151. That's a good pitch. Inside corner at the knees.
Been very good with that location on the arm side. It's been that glove side that's been the issue.
The 3-1. Fouled away. Full count. Dansby Swanson and Aaron Blair along with Inciarte for Shelby Miller. Crowd is into it. Hoping Charlie Morton can make a pitch here. The 3-2. Runners take off. That almost hit him. Walks in a run. It's 6-3. And here comes A.J. Hinch.
Gave him the opportunities. We talk about pitch counts. We talk about guys laboring. Might have had a little bit to do with that couple of tough plays that Carlos Correa had.
We'll take a break. Charlie Morton's night is done. It's Devo time with the bases loaded. He leaves with a 6-3 lead. He's responsible for the runners on base right now as the bases are loaded. 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned as of now. He walked 4 and struck out 5. Chris Devenski comes on for the Astros. He suffered the loss on Saturday night in Anaheim.
Still one of the better relievers in all of baseball. Fastballs, circle change of death. A little bit of a breaking ball every now and then.
Well, Danny Santana becomes the 9th Atlanta Brave to bat in the inning. Santana acquired yesterday from the Minnesota Twins. That's high a ball. It's 2-0.
Like a pretty good pitch on that changeup at 81 miles an hour. Devo has pretty good command. Not exactly where he wants it, but still a strike.
Looks like it was right there at the top of the zone. That one fouled away. It's 2-1. All started with an infield single by Inciarte. Brandon Phillips reached on an E6. And Matt Kemp with an RBI single. Nick Markakis with an RBI single. And Dansby Swanson walked with the bases loaded. For a 3-run inning for the Atlanta Braves. The Astros lead at 6-3. Devo's pitch, a good one in there for a strike.
That thing is nasty, man. He's got what he turns it over so it runs away from left-handed hitters, but it's also the depth. So from top to bottom, watch the bottom just fall out of it, and that's why you see hitters well out in front and swinging over the top of it.
The 2-2. That's fouled off. Is it the deception? Is it the ability to make it so hard to discern the difference between recognize the difference between the fastball and the changeup?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. Number one, the pitch has great movement and he pulls the velocity off of it, so he drops from his fastball at 94 miles an hour to that changeup at 83, which is a good 11 miles an hour. But you're right, he will throw the fastball and the changeup out of the same arm slot, same delivery point. And if you're looking in that one spot, there's really no deviation until the ball's halfway there and you're swinging and missing.
Just like Danny Santana did, Devo gets the strikeout. The Braves score 3 on 3 hits. They leave the bases loaded. It's 6-3 Astros. Greater coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. And take a look at some of these news and notes from around Major League Baseball. Anything stand out to you? Yankees and the Cubbies. How about that? Long day at the ballpark on Sunday.
Yeah, those regular season extra inning games wear on you, especially those that have to work them. But Ryan Howard, former National League MVP, out of a job, getting released by these Atlanta Braves from AAA.
A lot of people never knew he was with the Atlanta Braves. Just kind of fell off pretty sharply. It was on this day in 1984 that a 25-inning game between the Chicago White Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers. That game was concluded. They played 17 on the day before, and then they played 8 the next day. Just saying. Tom Seaver won 2 games that day. That ball hit into the gap. Carlos Beltran with a stand-up double. Second extra base hit of the night. He leads off the 6th with a double.
Good way to lead off after giving up 3 runs in the top half of that 6th inning. Now you've got Carlos Beltran with good numbers against Bartolo Colon in his career, taking that fastball up and away, staying on it and driving it. Good piece of hitting.
Got a couple of really good swings tonight.
Helping that slugging percentage out. Home run in that first AB, now a double.
Given that the Braves put that crooked number up in the top half of the 6th inning, it'd be nice to get a little more here. That ball popped up on the infield. And Garcia makes the play. With that double, that was the 544th of Carlos Beltran's career. That ties him for 44th on the all-time list with Derek Jeter. Not bad company.
Maybe he's going to have a chance if he doesn't get a double here at Minute Maid Park. He can pass him right in front of him. He's going to be up in New York for that weekend. Derek Jeter weekend with the Astros in town, but 31st on the all-time list.
Here's Brian McCann. Takes 1-0. Braves got 3 in the top of the 6th inning. Astros looking to add here to a 6-3 lead. Carlos Beltran leading off the sixth with a double. It's popped up to center. That'll make its way over into left field. Play is made there by Danny Santana in left center field. There's 2 outs. Bartolo Colon has really settled in after a rocky first inning.
You read my mind. You know, if we had been taking bets in that second inning, who's going to last longer in this ball game, I would not have said Bartolo Colon.
But Colon, who gave up 5 runs on 5 hits in the first, really settled in. Gave up the solo home run to Josh Reddick in the 5th. But the Reddick home run in the 5th and the double for Beltran to lead off here in the 6th. Those are the first hits. Those are the only hits since the first inning. That's outside a ball. Bregman struck out looking in the 1st. Fouled out to first base in the 4th. The 1-0. 2-0. Carlos Beltran, the veteran, looking in. 2 guys at opposite ends of their career. With Bregman at the plate. That's in there for a strike.
We talked about the young and old. Sometimes the older veteran guys get the benefit of some calls like that on the 2-0 count.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1. Aoki waits on deck. He's the number 9 hitter.
Well, maybe a makeup call, I'm not sure, but we haven't seen too many pitches at the top part of that zone called. But how about Alex Bregman? He's not putting up the power numbers we're accustomed to seeing here, but with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, he's hitting .417.
That ball hit well to right center. Ender Inciarte on his horse, and he got there, did he? No catch, and Bregman is in for a triple. Inciarte, if you get it over him, you've done something. Almost got to it, had to wait for a moment. And Bregman, that's maybe one of the harder hit balls he's had all season long.
It is, and I'm anxious to see the replay. That was a good fastball down and away for Bregman to stay on top. But Inciarte almost got a glove on that. It was tough to see from our vantage point, but that replay clearly shows it over the head of Inciarte. 2-out RBI production with an extra base hit. That'll help his slugging percentage and his wrist.
So Bartolo Colon will call it a night after allowing his 2nd extra base hit of the inning. Ender Inciarte, a Gold Glove center fielder, but couldn't catch up to that one. Sam Freeman comes in. We'll talk about it when we come back. lead it 7-3. Well, every Wednesday night home game at Minute Maid Park, it is $1 hot dog night. Dollar Hot Dog Wednesday. Enjoy all the dollar hot dogs you can eat while watching Astro games. To get tickets for the next Dollar Dog game, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 877-9-ASTROS. When you and Todd are calling the games, I'm out there getting dollar hot dogs.
That's not right.
There's Sam Freeman. Oh, you get plenty.
Just downright rude. Yeah, we got alligator the other day.
I like that.
Chef Dominic brought in some alligator for us.
Lefty on lefty matchup here. Freeman, born here in Houston, grew up in the Dallas area.
Tough break.
Facing the Astros for the 12th time as he pitching for the 3rd time this season.
He's got a fastball around 93, 94 miles an hour, slider, split finger.
That's high ball. Beltran led off the 6th inning with a double. Then after 2 outs, Alex Bregman, a 3-base hit to right center field, and the Astros extend their lead to 7-3. The 1-1 to Nori Aoki. Pulled a string on that one, and it's 1-2. Astros scored 5 in the 1st. Got a solo home run by Josh Reddick in the 5th. Scored 1 more here in the 6th inning. Aoki fouls that one away. Left-hander with the 1-2 pitch. That's outside a ball. This is what Atlanta will do. They'll try to mix and match and do a lot of matchups out of that bullpen.
Trying to get those left on left, right on right. But this bullpen has been taxed so far this season.
Off day for both of these clubs yesterday. The Braves played a 14-inning game, lost 6-4 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Aoki fouled that one off at the plate. Just got a piece to stay alive at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A run in here in the 6th. George Springer waits on deck.
That's what Ted Aoki can do to you. Just kind of pick away, foul off some nasty pitches until you make a mistake and slash one the other way.
The 2-2. Fouled it away again. Astros have won 6 of their last 8. Braves have lost 6 of their last 7, including 3 straight to the Cardinals at home coming into this. Aoki up the middle. And Phillips can't get to it. RBI single, Nori Aoki, and the Astros lead at 8-3.
Ted.
Doing what he does.
Teddy ball game just pestering Freeman. And you talk about matchups, managers know about it, hitters know about it, but it did a good job of fighting off pitch after pitch after pitch until he found one he could shoot back up the middle just out of the reach of Brandon Phillips. Another 2-out RBI for the Houston Astros. Nicely done.
That will close the book on Bartolo Colon, who gives up the 8 earned runs in this game tonight. 5 coming in the 1st inning, really settled in. The Astros get to him for 2 in the 5th, and now 1 in the 5th, and now here 2 more in the 6th, and that one way inside on George Springer.
Fastball inside. Might have been a little dramatic.
About to say, It looked closer from up here than what it was, but then again, I'm not the one standing in the box.
Yeah, anytime you get 95 plus
I have
in the rib cage or in the area of your corpse or your human space, you start to get a little flinchy.
got news for you. 85 hurts. 75 doesn't feel good. Here's the 2-0 to Springer. 3 balls and no strikes. Astros with 2 runs in. All coming with 2 outs. Beltran led it off with a double in the inning. That's ball 4. Now Josh Reddick, who hit his 100th career home run back in the 5th inning. He'll bat here in the 6th with 2 on and 2 outs.
And a guy in his career who doesn't have very good splits as far as left-handed pitching is concerned coming into the season. He's actually had some pretty good ABs for me against some very tough left-handers. But in watching that AB against George Springer, seeing some of the off-speed pitches in the dirt, one can almost assume that that was an unintentional, intentional walk to get George Springer first so you could have this matchup that we keep talking about left on left.
It's outside a ball.
Josh Reddick with that home run off Bartolo Colon, down and into that happy spot. Take the brain out of it and let the body react, and he did. Drove that ball nicely.
And hit it to the best spot to be able to save it.
Yeah, you're going to get that one back.
That one's going on the mantle. Fouled off into the Astros dugout. 1-1. Braves scored 3 in the top of the inning. The Astros answer back with a 2 spot here in the bottom of the inning, and they're not done. Aoki leads away from second base. Springer at first. Nipped the outside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Same 2 teams at it tomorrow. Astros head on to New York after tomorrow's game. The Atlanta Braves will head on to Miami. Stop that the Astros will make on that next road trip. Tony Sipp now throwing in the Astros bullpen. Tyler Flowers wants to talk it over with his left-handed.
And what he said was, you got to go after this left-handed hitter right here.
You don't want to face the guy on deck.
Not with 3 runners on.
Nope. Facing this guy's no walk in the park with 2 runners on. Lesser of 2 evils. It's a lower ball. It's 2-2.
Good job of laying off for Josh.
th pitch of the inning for Freeman. That'll make the seats. I think there's a bit of a when the roof is open, I think the ball kind of carries into the stands there in left field. When it gets up like that.
It can. It's interesting here. You know, really all 3/4 of the way is this stadium enclosed, and you see that left field portion that is usually covered by that plexiglass. But I agree with you in the sense that sometimes it comes down in here and kind of has that swirling effect and can push that baseball either out to left field or push it foul.
The 2-2, lefty on lefty, and a swing and a miss. He gets Reddick to end the 6th inning, but the Astros put a 2 spot on the board on 3 hits. We go to the 7th. It's 8-3 Houston. 2-run 6th inning. 8-3 the score. MLB TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go. MLB.TV Premium includes a free at-bat premium subscription, a $19.99 value, allowing you to watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Enjoy the best picture quality ever and connected devices enhancements. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB TV for details. Good with that? Did you get all that?
Whew. That was a good one.
Meanwhile, here's Ender Inciarte.
You loose?
And now tired. Inciarte singled and scored back in the 6th inning. That was way back in the 6th inning. Braves batting in an 8-3 game here in the top of the 7th inning. Stavinsky misses high, a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, Inciarte was, I guess, a bit of a quiet jewel in that deal. A lot of the talk was about Dansby Swanson, the #1 overall pick. But Inciarte has really turned into a good baseball player. He was good in Arizona, but you know, A.J. Hinch, we were talking with him in the office before. I remember him, he had scouted and was a big part of signing Ender Inciarte with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's a Dominican tryout team, although he's from Venezuela. But he said Inciarte was just, he was about 140 pounds when he first met Ender Inciarte. He just loves the kid. That ball ripped right.
Well, that actually leads into a good story.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
About him is that he was thin, wiry, could run like the wind, but wouldn't really turn the ball. So he would turn around and bunt every time A.J. Hinch was in town. And A.J. finally, in all of his limited Spanish, said no toque, which is no bunt in Spanish.
You got to hit when you get to the big leagues. Here's Bregman. And so what was it? They were playing a spring training game, right?
Yep, and Ender Inciarte looks over in the opposing dugout.
Steps out of the box.
Yep. Makes a point of getting AJ's attention and mouths over to him. No toque.
He said he's one of his favorites, Ender Inciarte. Here's Brandon Phillips. Reached on an error and scored in the 6th inning. 0 for 3 tonight as Chris Stavinsky works here in the top of the 7th. Fouled back up above us.
There you go.
There you go. Fans watching NBA Rockets basketball tonight. What's up, everybody? Smile. Budweiser Brew House out there in center field.
It's a pretty good time. Good night in Houston sports.
It is a fun time out there. Unfortunately, I'm working when I'm out there, so you can't. You got to temper the fun. But you can see people are having a good time.
Hot dogs out there.
Should be told. The curtain back too far.
Working on some hot dogs.
That's a good pitch by Devo. Phillips swings over the top of that changeup.
You know what's beautiful about that is that's that changeup again, and it's good enough that, and he is confident enough in it to be able to throw it to both right-handed and left-handed hitters. Not typically do you see a right-hander throw changeups to right-handed hitters because it comes back into those hitters, but the depth makes it a very good pitch against them.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. That's against a guy who's been around a while as well. And I'm guessing has a great appreciation for that changeup of Chris Stavinsky. 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, he's got his challenges in front of him, but you're right, the depth, bottom just falling out of that pitch.
You can see the grip, that changeup grip, but that's the beauty of Chris Stavinsky and the value of Chris Stavinsky.
Yeah.
Because he can be just as tough on what you saw with the right-hander there, and now he comes back and he's almost a pseudo-lefty specialist against a guy like Freddie Freeman.
And that's why he can throw multiple innings, because he doesn't have to pitch to matchups. He can pitch to both sides of the plate.
Are you surprised that we have not seen a switch hitter switch around and bat right-handed against him?
Yes. and no at the same time. It's tough to do that. I know certain hitters have done that actually against Mariano Rivera.
They did it. Tom Glavine, they would do it against
Tom Glavine because he didn't have a very good breaking ball, so they just sat fastball changeup. And it eliminated that changeup because it was coming back to him, so you could sit fastball.
But whether it was Charlie Morton who started this game or Chris Davinsky, been solid tonight. Charlie Morton did a nice job on Freddie Freeman, holding a 349 hitter to 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs. He misses high here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's in the dirt. Count goes full.
Trying to throw the extra nasty one against Freddie Freeman.
The 3-2 with 2 outs. Got him swinging. Stretch time in Houston. Chris Davinsky doing what he does, and the Astros lead the Atlanta Braves 8-3. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Carlos Correa dialing long distance in the big way in the first inning. Part of a 5-run first. Carlos Beltran, one of his 2 home runs, one of his 2 extra base hits. As the Astros scored 5 in the first, and the 100th career home run for Josh Reddick. Busy day with the Astros bats as they lead it 8-3. Beautiful night here at Minute Maid Park alongside Jeff Blum and Julian Morales. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder, sitting in for Todd Callis tonight. Be with you here for a couple of games, and then Todd will be back with the club coming up in New York. Jose Altuve singled and scored back in the first inning. Astros scored 5 in the first, came back, got a run in the 5th, 2 more in the 6th. Atlanta put a 3 spot on the board in the 6th inning. That is where we stand, 8-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. That's high a ball. Freeman, one of those guys rushing up there at 93 miles per hour from the left side.
He's got a pretty good arm with that fastball, 93, 95, but also a couple of put-away pitches in the slider and split finger also.
That one fouled back. Correa waits on deck. Astros looking for their 22nd win of the season. Astros, Yankees, and Nationals all with 21 wins. It's the most in baseball. That Good road trip coming up. The 4-game set in New York with two of the best teams in the American League. Altuve bounces that to Dansby Swanson. Throws across, and there's one away. Carlos, who hit a bomb in the first inning, steps in here in the 7th. 4th home run of the season, and he did not get cheated. Hit it off the batter's eye to dead center field. Three-run homer was part of a 5-run first inning. Tap back up the middle, and Brandon Phillips will throw across. There's 2 away.
Now the Astros are off to an electric start. They've gotten good, healthy pitching. They've gotten clutch hits. In the last 22 games, they're averaging 5.5 runs per game, which is nice, especially if you're a starting pitcher. They have comeback wins. They have big leads that they've won. Expect them to be good, but to be one of the top 5 teams in all of baseball, that's doing something.
You go to the offseason moves like this one right here as Carlos Beltran steps in. Beltran facing Freddie Freeman. He homered off of Bartolo Colon back in the first inning, and this from the obscure stats department. Beltran's going to give me a chance to tell this story. 5,792 days since Beltran's first home run off Colon. Okay?
Jeez.
That was in 2001. That is the longest gap between the first and last homers in the expansion era.
Wow.
That's per Elias. Can't blame me on that one. And Phil Boudreau.
Well, in the immortal words of Miguel Tejada, that's impress.
Oh, my. Carlos has had good swings tonight. Now fouls this one off.
It's not a statute of limitations in Elias's group, is there?
Absolutely not.
Man, he's going back.
Astros 8 runs on 9 hits tonight. Did Beltran hold up? He did not. And that's a strikeout. That'll do it in the 7th inning. Astros go down 1-2-3, but lead it 8-3. Go to the 8th inning. Earlier today, the Astros Foundation was recognized for their outstanding work by the Houston City Council with a proclamation at City Hall. Astros Foundation is always proud to support our surrounding community. Congratulations.
Do a lot of good work.
Yep, have been doing it for a long, long time. Now Luke Gregerson comes on to pitch here in the 8th.
Luke's had a couple of rough outings. You see that ERA, a little exaggerated. That's the toughest part about being a reliever is you can have a lot of very good outings, but in limited innings pitched, you have a couple of blow-ups and the numbers get kind of big. So good spot for Luke Gregerson to come out here and try and work and get right.
Had the tough outing against Kansas City earlier, second week of the season. And then Texas struggled a bit there, but this is maybe a good spot to come in, like you said, work some kinks out, get things headed back in the right direction. And just absolute money in the WBC. This will help. Pop up. Reddick comes in, and he'll make the play. There's the woos.
I think there might be some TVs tuned in to the Rockets game.
If you heard the stir in the crowd, I think that's what it was. I thought everybody was excited about that fly out to right field.
Me too. It was a great play.
Nick Markakis. That's in there for a strike. Markakis walked back in the second inning, grounded out in the 4th. And he had an RBI single in the 6th. Now Luke had that tough outing against Texas on that last homestand. Now 3 runs on 4 hits. That was in the 8th inning of that finale of that 4-game set.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic, and that's tough. 4 runs, 3 pitches, or 3 runs, 4 pitches.
And it's the life of a reliever. You don't have a chance to work yourself out of it. Usually, when you're in there, especially in the position of a Luke Gregerson, you're in high leverage situations. You come in and then you don't bring your A game in there and you get knocked around a little bit. It's not like your Bartolo Colon where you get a chance to settle in for a couple of innings. He's going to be a big part of this bullpen going forward. You know, the thing is, it gives you an idea. At 8.49 ERA for Gregerson, 11 of his 14 appearances have been scoreless. That tells you how much of a blow-up he's had in those 3.
That's a great number to throw out there to give you an idea of how tough it is.
Astros lead 8-3 here in the 8th. Nick Markakis awaits the 2-2. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Absolute paint.
That'll help boost the confidence of Luke Gregerson.
Julie, what do you got?
I've got the Chevy Stroh poll results.
Tell us.
Yes.
I know the answers.
Did you guys vote in the poll?
Twice.
You know you can vote at Root Sports SW. You can't vote twice, Kevin.
Whoa! Wow! That's a tie. Maybe I should have.
It is a tie.
I should have voted. I should have voted, and I would have. Okay, can we cast the deciding vote?
Yeah. Which one are you going for?
I'm going Biggio's 3,000th hit.
Then I'm going to go for Burke.
Then we just wasted the last 30 seconds of everyone's life. Julia's the
deciding
tiebreaker.
vote.
What do you got? No pressure here.
Man.
Biggio's in the building. Chris Burke is not. I'll just say that.
I know.
She's going to vote for Bogusevich.
No, I got to go 3,000.
There you go. See, a wise woman once said, Josh Reddick makes the catch, and that'll retire the side in the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th. The Astros lead 8-3. Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Evan Eschenfelder, Jeff Blum with you upstairs. Julia Morales, best seat in the house down on the field as we welcome you back here to Minute Maid Park. Gorgeous night for baseball. Todd Callis will be back with the team coming up in New York, starting that 4-game series on Thursday. Sam Freeman into work. This is third inning. He's got an inning and a third. Gurriel just got a piece of that one. A 9-1-1 hack right there.
A little too early for that. Usually you want to do those with 2 strikes.
That's a good point. Colon started. Bartolo Colon gave up 8 earned runs in 5 2/3. Charlie Morton started it for the Astros. Charlie lasted 5 2/3. Gave up 1 earned run on 5 hits. Walked 4 and struck out 5. Davinsky came in for an inning and a third. He struck out 3. Luke Gregerson pitched the top of the 8th inning, so he's worked a perfect inning. It's a low ball. It's 2-1. Yuli Gurriel quietly coming into this game hitting .294. Man, he has had some really good swings over the last 10 days, last 2 weeks. Even balls that don't fall in for hits have been hit hard.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting comfortable. A couple of bombs mixed in there. He's got 8 RBIs on the season, but a guy who I think is a very good professional hitter. Got to remind yourself that he has been around for a while playing competitive international baseball for Cuba. But a good hitter who manages to stay up the middle and goes gap to gap.
That misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see this fastball from Freeman getting on some of these hitters. It is.
The 3-2. And he walked him. Now you got to give a bit of a star to Bartolo Colon. Coming off that 14-inning game in which the Atlanta Braves played on Sunday, knowing that your pitching staff had been taxed. Julio Teheran got an at-bat in that game. That gives you an idea how things went for the Atlanta Braves in that game. They had all kind of traffic in extra innings and just couldn't get anything done. Michael Feliz begins to warm up for the Astros. Jason Mott working in the Atlanta Braves bullpen. Brian McCann takes high a ball. Julia?
Hey guys, real quick, there's been a lot of turnover with Atlanta. The team looks a lot different than it did a few years ago, obviously, but Brian McCann still has some ties with the Braves throughout their organization. Brian Snitker, their manager now, a long time with the Braves organization doing different things, but he was actually his manager in Double-A in 2005 when Brian McCann was called up. So Snickers, or they call him Snit, his job was to find McCann and tell him he was going to the show. Couldn't find him that night. The guys were out having dinner. He was at a restaurant, finally got a hold of him and was able to tell him the great news. So they'll forever be bonded for that. And he says wonderful things about Snit, and obviously the other way around, everyone loves Brian McCann.
You see those ties to guys that we see them on the major league level, but the ties start very, very early on, and that's in the minor leagues. How did you get the word you were going to the big leagues?
My roommate, or my basement mate, I should say. Let me rephrase that.
Were you Ottawa?
Ottawa, Canada, living in the basement of a host family in Ottawa, Canada. And my basement mate, who was going to the University of Ottawa, spoke very little English. He was a French speaker.
Spoke Canadian?
Yep. That's funny. I get it. Spoke that northern Canadian.
And he told you, he got the call.
Yeah, he actually got the call because I had a cell phone, but I don't believe that anybody else on the planet had it. And I got home and he proceeded to tell me somebody in the Expos organization had called the house phone. I said, oh, that's interesting. And we had just happened to come home at night and watch the highlights of the Expos game, and Orlando Cabrera blew out his ankle. And I was like, oh boy, this is it. So I don't have any cool stories about relationships and friends.
There's the double play. 1-6-3. Dansby Swanson with a bit of a smile there. Made the catch, was able to get back on the bag and throw across for the double play.
Kind of anticlimactic, I know.
That's all right. It was still a good story. It was an okay story.
It was okay.
Well, that's because you set the bar quite high. I'll give you that. 28,724 here at Minute Maid Park tonight. Beautiful night for baseball. We have had some really good weather, haven't we?
You're welcome.
Kidding. Now, Bregman tripled his last at bat. That was in the 6th inning, an RBI triple that scored Carlos Beltran. That was the Astros' 7th run of the game. They lead at 8-3 here. He would later score on an RBI single by Nori Aoki. That ball is ripped right at Dansby Swanson, and the line drive put out. We go to the 9th. The Astros leading the Braves 8-3.
Ninth, and it is time now for our player of the game, and it is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Carlos Beltran, 40-year-old against a 43-year-old, and the 40-year-old won. 424th career home run. He backed that up with a double going to the opposite field off Bartolo Colon, tying him with Derek Jeter for 31st all time. For doubles in Major League Baseball, a good night to be 40-plus.
It was Carlos's first home run off of Bartolo Colon since June 30th, 2001. 15 and a half years. All right, that's 16 years between home runs against a single player.
This gives a lot of credit to those two guys for sticking around baseball that long.
A long, long time between homers. Longest in the expansion era since 1961. Tyler Flowers takes ball one. Michael Feliz comes in to work. Michael missed the series in Anaheim. He's on the family medical emergency list. Rejoined the club today. That's 1-1. Last pitched on Thursday against the Texas Rangers as he makes his 12th appearance of the season.
There you see it on the bottom. Fastball slider guy. Brings it in the mid-90s with that put-away slider.
You know, I think you look at Michael Feliz and you look at a guy that, as each year starts, and granted he's very young in his career, but that guy that could make a giant leap to the next level. He's got that kind of stuff.
He does have that kind of stuff, and he's got a great mentality and a disposition about him. Done a great job out of that bullpen.
The 1-2 just missed. Well, Flowers struck out in the 2nd, struck out again in the 5th, and walked in the 6th inning. Flowers leading off the ninth, the 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Astros scored 5 in the first inning before Bartolo Colon had ever retired a hitter. And they got one more in the 5th and 2 more in the 6th, and they lead 8-3. Braves did all their damage in the 6th, the 3-run 6th inning. Right back up the middle and a base hit for Tyler Flowers. He leads off the 9th with a knock. Brings up Dansby Swanson.
Did a good job of laying off some tough pitches down in the zone to get him into that hitter's count to get the fastball from Feliz.
Swanson's been on twice in 3 plate appearances tonight. Singled in the 5th, walked in the 6th. You know, Dansby Swanson was the star of that Vanderbilt team that won the College World Series in 2014. Derek Fisher was on the opposing team. Astros farmhand Derek Fisher. He was at University of Virginia. Saw a lot of him in spring training.
Tony Kemp.
Yep.
Another Vanderbilt guy.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there. Had Swanson out in front.
There's that slider. When he's on and he's locating well, it's down and away.
The 0-2. Got him. Carved him up on 3 pitches, and there's 1 away in the 9th. A reminder, stick around for the post-game show. Take a closer look at that big first inning as the Astros got it done against Bartolo Colon. Devo doing what he does, and you'll hear from A.J. Hinch and player reactions. It's all coming up next. Bart Ennis and Josh Beckett on the post-game show right here on Root Sports. There's Danny Santana. That one got through the wickets. Tyler Flowers will cruise into second base. There was a wild pitch. We'll talk it over, maybe a bit of a cross up there.
Cross up, and then they'll just reestablish what the signs are going to be with a runner at second base. Make sure that they stay on the same page.
If you were a hitter, there's some guys that like to know what's coming. Some guys don't.
You better be 100% sure.
You're thinking breaking ball, somebody throws a fastball.
Oh, man.
Up and in.
Yeah, watch your soup coolers.
Here's a pitch. That one fouled away. Got up in the stands in a hurry. 1-1. Santana 0 for 3 tonight. Just came over from the Minnesota Twins in a deal yesterday. Astros looking for win number 22. Swung on and fouled back into the glove and out of the glove of Brian McCann. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. With 28,000 on hand for this one tonight. These 2 teams will go at it again tomorrow. A 1:10 first pitch here at Minute Maid Park. Tap over the right side. It is out on the road. This is a big stretch coming up. Astros head out on the road. They got a 4-game series over the weekend at Yankee Stadium. That should be a lot of fun. Then they go to Miami to take on the Marlins for 3. Then you come back home for a big homestand. You got Cleveland in for 3, Detroit for 4, and then the Baltimore Orioles come in for 3. The next thing you know, you turn the page and it's June.
Yeah, that's an impressive homestand. Facing some high-quality talent, some teams playing good baseball.
A long road trip to start off the month of June. But winnable games at Minnesota, at Texas, which is always tough, and at Kansas City.
Which makes these games against teams under 500 that much more important.
3 runs on 6 hits, an error and 6 men left for the Atlanta Braves. 8 runs, 9 hits, An error and 3 left for the Astros. The 1-2 pitch to Santana. Altuve comes on. Goes across and gets a hustling Danny Santana by a step. 2 away in the 9th. Ender Inciarte back to the top of the order. Inciarte 1 for 3 on the night. He's reached base twice. Had a single in the 6th, walked in the 3rd. He bats here with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Feliz trying to close this one down. That misses off the outside corner. Joe Musgrove, Jaime Garcia tomorrow. 110 first pitch tomorrow. Musgrove 1-3 with a 5.40 ERA. That misses a ball. It's 2-0.
Hey, right at it, Mike. Come on now. Come on.
The Astros with a 9-hit night tonight. They lead the American League in hits. Now it's 3-0. High batting average as a team and a good low ERA. It's a good combination and a big reason why the Astros are an out away from going 22-11.
Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, I like looking at the low strikeout counts that they have, the high on base percentage numbers they have.
That's the biggest evolution of this roster over the last, 4 years, 3 years?
Yep, big time.
That one popped up. This should do it. Nori Aoki squeezes it, and the Astros get the victory. They go to 22-11 as Charlie Morton picks up the victory. The Astros win it 8-3. Well, a 5-run first inning proved to be plenty for the Astros as the flags fly tonight.
Yeah, it was an interesting ball game for Charlie Morton also. He went 5 2/3. He only gave up 1 earned run, had a rough time trying to get out of that 6th inning. Started to labor a little bit before the bullpen had to come into action, but it was nice for A.J. Hinch to have that start early on with those 5 runs coming in that first inning. Eventually, Josh Reddick added another home run, then a couple runs tacked on, but good to see the offense clicking and the bullpen doing what it's supposed to do, shut down the other team.
Astros win it 8-3. Back with more in a moment.